In the past 30 days, this kids animation story channel has earned anywhere from $4,000 to $66,000 with their faceless videos. And getting started with this type of channel is actually easier than you may think, which is why in this video I'll show you exactly how you can do so. So the first thing you need to do is generate the scripts for your kids animation. Now you can go about doing this in two different ways. The first way we'll go about doing this is by using ChatGPT to assist us. Now once on ChatGPT, what you want to do is ask it this prompt, which says, write me a short kids animation about, and then you give an explanation of what your story would be about. It can be a brief explanation or a very specific one. The choice is up to you. And then it continues, the character should be, and then you say the type of characters you want in your story. Now note well, this is a kid's story, so you typically will see characters like humans, animals, sometimes even furniture and other types of inanimate objects. So what you want to do is go ahead and fill in this prompt. So as you can see, what I've written is this: write me a short kids animation about making friends by being nice to people. The characters should be farm animals. Now something else you can include in your prompt is this, which says only include number of characters. So if you have a specific number of characters you want in your story, just write this prompt and say how many. And then the final thing I love to add into this prompt is this, which says that takes place in one scene background. Now the reason why I like to add that in is because if you don't add this in, oftentimes ChatGPT gives you a story that takes place in multiple different backgrounds, and for each background you need to generate that. So if you want to make it easier for yourself when it comes to generating this, I recommend just adding in this prompts right there. And once you have your prompts in, all you need to do is click enter. And now as you can see, ChatGPT has gone ahead and generated us a very nice short little story that we could use for our animation. Now the second way you can go about generating this kids animation is by coming to Notepad or Google Docs and then writing out your own story by yourself. So this is if you want to use your complete creativity in this process, then you can do that and go ahead to generate your own story. Now whichever version you choose, whether you create your own story or you use ChatGPT's story, once you have your story done, it's time to move on to the next step. The next thing you want to do is generate the voiceovers for your characters. In order to do this, you would want to be using 11 Labs. You can find a link for 11 Labs in the description of this video. Now before you can actually go about generating the voices, you need to know exactly what characters are in your story. So you'd want to come back over to ChatGPT and then just take a brief look at your story and see the different characters you have. So just by looking at this, you can see we have the narrator, we have Clucky the chicken, and then we have Daisy the cow. So once you know this, you want to come ahead and write it in a notepad so that you know which type of characters you'll need to be generating. And now that you know this, you can come on over back to 11 Labs and ensuring that you are in speech synthesis. What you want to do is come on over to where it says settings, and then you want to click on this small drop down arrow, and then you want to simply go through the different voices that it's given you and listen to all of them and then see which one would work best for each of your different characters within your story. So now as you can see, I've selected 3 different voices, Dorothy, Gigi, and Mimi, for the different characters that I will be generating. So let's just take a look at what these voices each sound like. Let's hear Dorothy.
Ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes.
She sounds like she would be very good for the narrator of my story, and as you can see, she is selected for children's stories. Let's listen to Mimi, who's the cow.
If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door.
So this is our cow, and then for the Clucky the chicken, we have the voice of Gigi.
Happiness can exist only in acceptance.
So as you can see, I've selected 3 voices which I think are perfect for my kids' animation story. Now once you have the voices down, you need to begin generating the voiceover. And in order to do this, it's very simple. So the first voice I'll be generating is Dorothy, which is, as you can see, the narrator. So I'm going to come back over to ChatGPT, and here where it says narrator, I'm going to go ahead and copy this voiceover, come on back over to 11 Labs and simply paste it in. Remember, making sure I have Dorothy selected. From there, all I need to do is hit generate. 11 Labs has generated the voiceover for me. Let's see what it sounds like.
Once upon a time, on a friendly farm, there lived 2 best friends, Clucky the chicken and Daisy the cow.
That sounds amazing. It's so good for kids animation. I love it. So once you have your voiceover and you're happy with what it sounds like, you need to download it. And in order to download it, you simply want to hit download, and then it's going to be downloaded to your computer. And then once you have the first one done, you want to delete it, come back over to ChatGPT, copy the second voice where the narrator is speaking, paste it back in, and then hit generate once again.
One sunny morning,
and then download. And I'm sure you're thinking, but wait, Monique, why are we doing this one by one? Why aren't we just copying all the narrator voices, putting it together in one paragraph and generating it? Doing it that way will make it way more difficult for you. Believe me, by doing it one by one, it actually makes it easier to organize the files so that you will be able to use them for later. What I mean by that is this. On my desktop, I've created 3 different folders for each of my characters: the narrator, the chicken, and the cow. Now that I've downloaded the narrator voices, I can simply go ahead and copy them and put them into my narrator folder. Now, if we click onto that folder, as you can see, we have all the voices in their right order. So this makes it very easy and organizable, so when we need them for later on, we can drag and drop them. If you only have one folder with one large file, then when you're editing, you have to go break it up piece by piece, find the section that is whichever section. Doing it this way will make it way more easier for you and save you way more time later on. Just trust me on this. So what you want to do is keep generating all the different narrator voices till you have them all. And then once you have all the narrator voices done, you need to go ahead to do your next one by coming to your notepad, seeing what voice you had selected. So we had Gigi for the chicken. Go to settings and then select the voiceover. Again, this is the chicken. So come back over to ChatGPT. See everywhere we have Clucky speaking. We're going to just copy it, come back to 11 Labs, paste it in, hit generate, download, and it's the same exact process. You want to do this for all of the voiceovers for each of your characters and organize them nice and easily into a folder on your laptop so that you could use them for later. And now, just like that, I have gone ahead and generated all the voices for our different characters. I didn't even notice there was one called Willie right there, so I added him in and I have organized them all within a folder. So once you have all the voices ready, it's time to start generating the animation. And don't worry, this part is super easy, super cool, and super fun. In order to generate the animation, the main tool we'll be using is Canva. You can find a link for Canva in the description below. But once on Canva, in this search bar, what you want to do is search for YouTube video and hit enter. And then once you've done that, what you want to do is click on the one which says blank YouTube video, and then it's going to take you to this scene. So the first thing you need once you have the scene for your animation is the background of your video. Now, based upon our story, we know this is taking place on a farmland. So in order to get this background, what you'd want to do is click onto where it says elements and then search for exactly what it is that you want. So in our case, we want farmland. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and click where it says graphics and then scroll through the options it gave you and choose the one you think would work best for your video. You want to simply adjust the sizing of it so that it fits perfectly onto your background scenery. And just like that, you have the background for your animation. Now you don't need to stop there. If you want to add in some more elements to this background, you can feel free to do so. So for example, if I wanted to add maybe a fence within this, remaining in the elements section, I can go ahead and search for the word fence and then go to where it says graphics. And then I can easily select one of the options and then add it into my image. I've made it a little bit more unique. You could do this if you want, but you don't need to. The choice is yours. And now once you're done with your background, wow, great job. It looks super duper boring. As a kid watching this, you need things to happen and nothing is happening there. But don't you worry, all is not lost. I'm going to show you how you can animate this. It's only take 10 more seconds to turn this into something even better. So in order to do this, what you will need to do firstly is download the background. And in order to download it, you want to click where it says share and then you want to hit download and it's going to tell you to download as an MP4. No, what you want to do is download this as a PNG and then click download. And once you have your background downloaded, what you need to do is come on over to this site called Layer Picks. I will leave the link in the description for you to use. Now, once on Layer Picks, you want to click over here where it says Get Started. And then it's going to take you to this page. And now remember, guys, this is free to use. And once on this page, over here, what you want to do is upload the file that you just downloaded from Canva. And voila, look at this. This is already way better than just a stagnant image. Now, if you like this from here, in order to download it, it's as simple as clicking exports. And just like that, it would be downloaded to your computer. But if you don't like the amount of motion it has, then you can go ahead and play with the settings on this side and then download the outputs. And now, since you've downloaded your new background, what you want to do is come over to the upload section in Canva and then upload that file that you just downloaded from Layer Picks. So now compare this very much stagnant image to this now movable background. It's that simple, it's that easy to make your animation way better. But now that we have our background ready, it's time to move on to the next step. So now we need to actually generate the scenes of our video. In order to do this, you want to come back to ChatGPT, read what it says, and then generate that for your image. So the first thing is where the narrator comes in and it's introducing our characters, Clucky the chicken and Daisy the cow. So in order to have this done, you need to come back over to Canva and search for your characters. So the first character we want is a chicken. So we would go ahead and search for this within the elements section, click where it says graphics, and then scroll through the options it gave us and choose the chicken which we think would work best for our animation. And then we'll do the same thing for the cow. So that's the first part of generating your animation, adding in the necessary characters into your scene. But now that our characters are in our scenery, we need to animate them, we need to make them move. In order to do this, it's very simple. What we would first want to do is click on our first character, which is Daisy the cow. And now that we've clicked onto her, as you can see, this option called animate is now popped up at the top. So we want to click onto this. What you want to do is click over here where it says create an animation. And now animating the cow is just as simple as moving it around. So what we're going to do is click onto her and simply just move her up and down like she's hopping all the way to the center till she gets a little bit closer to her friend. And now that we've done that, as you can see, here is the animation. In the animation box right here, what I recommend you do is click onto the steady option so that it hops a little bit more steady. And then if you want, you can increase the speed to make it way faster, or you can decrease the speed to make it way slower. The choice is yours. And then you could also choose motion effects if you want to make it rotate, flicker, pulse, or wiggle. I recommend adding in a little bit of wiggle, but then double click on it. You want to really bring down the intensity so that it's not too intense with the wiggle. And that's how easy it was to animate this. So then I'll do the same exact thing for the chicken. I'm going to click onto it, click animate, click create an animation, and then move it a little bit closer to here. And then I'm going to play with the settings again, click steady. We're gonna double click onto wiggle and bring it down. And now just like that, we've animated our first scene. Now we need to go ahead to create our second scene. In order to do this, it's super simple. All you want to do is come to the bottom here where you see these three dots, and then you want to click duplicate page. And now that you've duplicated the page, what you want to do is reset the paths of your characters. So you're going to click onto this one, and then this box will open, and then we'll click delete path. Then we'll click onto the cloud, click custom, and then click delete path. So noting where it ended the last time, we're going to go ahead and bring our characters within that same position so we can continue from that scene. Now if we go back to ChatGPT, it's now saying that a shy timid sheep named Wooly looks a bit lost who enters the scene. So now we want to animate this next scene. So it's the same exact process. We'll go to elements and then we'll find that character we want and then add it in just like this. So now we have all the characters we need for this scene. We can go ahead and animate their movements for this scene. And it's the same process like we did the last time. And now as you can see, the second animation is done. Now from here, you need to do the next important step of your animations. You need to add in the voiceovers of your character. You can't have an animation without the voiceovers. In order to do this, it's super easy. You want to come over to the upload section and upload all the voiceovers for your characters that you downloaded from 11 Labs. All you want to do is simply put your playhead where you want the voiceover to start, and then in the section over here you want to click onto it, and just like that it's going to be added into your scene. So now take a look at what it sounds like.
Welcome to our farm. I'm Clucky, and this is my best friend Daisy.
Now our animation looks like it's coming along very well. See how easy it is to do? You click on the character, you animate them, and then you add in the voiceover. And you want to continue doing that for your entire animation. And note well, you get to play around with how you want your scenes to go, how you want your characters to move, when you want them to speak, when you don't want them to speak. You get to play around with exactly how you want things to happen, the way you want it to happen. Have fun with this process, guys, and really let your creativity shine through. And just like that, as you can see, I have finished animating my videos and adding in the voiceovers. But once you're done with your video, you need to just do this one last thing which will really make your video viral quality, And that last thing is simply adding background music. In order to do this, what you want to do is come on over to pixabay.com. Now once on Pixabay, what you want to do in the search bar is search for what you're looking for. So in my case, I want some music to do with children. So I'm simply going to search in the word children, and then in this corner here, ensure that I have music selected. And then as you can see, there's over 1,000 songs that I could choose from. What you want to do here is play the different songs and find one that you like. And once you do, you'd simply want to download it to your computer. And then once you've downloaded the background music to your computer, you want to come